for Hip Kit Club, and today I'm designing a layout using the September kits. I have the main kit, I've also got the Project Life kit, the embellishment kit, and I've got some bits from the colour kit too. My layout this week is based on the mood board for the month, which was designed by Audrey Yeager, which we'll just see in a moment. There you go. And I've been inspired by the leaf formation, the gingham banner, and also the title. It's leaves with the letters cut out of them, and obviously it's an autumn theme, so I'm going along those lines as well. So it's quite a few bits of inspiration I've taken from that mood board there. So what I've done is I've taken that absolutely amazing Pink Fresh Indigo Hills to paper, the one with the wreath on it. And I've cut out the wreath, fussy cut that out, or not cut it properly yet. There it is. I took it out of the background and I've turned it over, and I've used the dark blue background as my border around my layout. So you can see that I have the dark part at the bottom and the top and the white part at the top. So it kind of has this fade effect, which is actually really cool as a border. I really like the way that that looks. So instead of using that wreath in its entirety as a wreath, which is what I would initially, be drawn to doing, what I'm doing is cutting out all of those leaves. It's a bit controversial, I know, because that wreath was so gorgeous, but I've cut out all of those leaves, fussy cut them out, and I'm going to try to arrange them in the circular formation that appears on the mood board. So my aim is to arrange them all towards the bottom corner of my layout, and in theory I'm trying to go for the darker colours in the middle and getting lighter around the edges. So I'm starting off by sort of pairing the leaves together and arrange them into colours. I'm going to try and start arranging the darkest leaves in that bottom left corner. I'm going to try a few different formations here because I'm not 100% happy with the way that it looks. I was really hoping that it would look amazing, but it just doesn't. I just really wasn't keen on the way this turned out, this design here. So yeah, not happy with that. I really, thought I could go with it for a bit, but no, I wasn't feeling it. So I think you can see what I'm doing there. Just trying to see if I can make it work by pairing them together. Anyway, as you can see, all comes off again. I wasn't happy, just totally wasn't feeling it. So now I'm going for a flower design. I'm trying to arrange them in that way, in like a circular design like that. So rather than coming out from the corner, they're all going to go round in a circle. And actually this works much better. It takes me a little while to get there, but ultimately I'm happy with the way that this one turns out. So I've still gone for the dark leaves in the middle and getting lighter towards the outside. Those yellow flowers up at the top right there, the flower and the leaf, I end up not using those in the end because the colours, it just didn't quite work. Even though that as a colour combination altogether is really, really pretty, I just didn't have enough of the yellow to bring in. So I decided to get rid of the yellow altogether. And just focus on the pinks and the purples and the blues. That to me worked better. Okay, so that's actually the fussy cut piece from the middle of the wreath, and that's a Project Life card, a 6x4 Project Life card. So I'm going to mount my photo on there, and this piece here is just so lovely, I don't want to waste it. So I've chopped that down so it's a more regular shape, and I've created 2 strips there to go top and bottom of my photo. I have some issues with photo placement. I can't work out if I want it at the top or at the bottom or where I want it really. Do I want it to overlap the flowers? So for a while I play with the photo up there, but in the end it actually ends up moving right down to the bottom. I just couldn't make any decisions for this layout. So I'm just pulling out some bits and pieces that go with that photo. I wanted to pull out a frame, one of those lovely frames from the Pink Fresh Indigo Hills 2 chipboard sheet. Yes, I pulled out that frame and I've just tucked that behind my photo. So now I'm going to try and work out and see if I can use the inspiration from the mood board, the alphabet just it's leaves with the letters cut out from the middle of them. But what I thought I would do is cut out circles, which is what I've got my punch there for, and put the tiny alphabet stickers from the Project Life kit inside each circle, and that way I can make my title up using those letters on circles, which is totally inspired by the mood board. So that's going to work. I just was testing out the different sizes of punches there, and that works fine. So I come back and do my title a bit later, but right now I'm still faffing around with the leaves and getting them all stuck in place. I've used one of those fab Amy Tan foam flowers to go in the middle of my flower, my leaf flower, and now I'm just getting some bits stuck down. So all my leaves are now stuck down, just getting my photo stuck in place. Oh, there's a few more leaves that are not stuck down. That's because they needed to overlap my photo, so I needed to get my photo stuck down before I could stick those leaves down. Ordinarily I would probably have raised all of those leaves up on foam pads because I'm a bit foam pad obsessed. However, I was just worried that it would create too much dimension, and really I wanted to stick the bottom parts of the leaves flat and have the tips of the leaves curling, and that actually worked really well by sticking them down at the bottom of the leaves with some wet glue, and just having the top part of the leaves curled up. So now I'm going through, I've just been through all the embellishments that came in the September kits, and I'm working out what ones work with my colours. I'm trying to stick to the no yellow rule that I kind of made at the beginning. So I'm going through pulling out all the purples and the pinks and the navies, and I've got a slight tinge of orange or coral that comes in with those pinkish coloured leaves. So I've introduced a little bit more of that down the bottom there. Yeah, so I'm just making a little spray at the top. I've used one of the chipboard stickers from the Pink Fresh Studios in Indigo Hills 2 chipboard sheet, and that's at the top there. I'm going to add to that, I think, a little bit soon as well. And I've just cut out all of my circles there. I want to use the title "My Heart is Full." And then in the end I decide that I'm going to go for a heart instead of the word heart to represent that. So that's my little Project Life alphabet stickers there going onto those circles. I'm just going to get all of those stuck in place. There you go. How cute is that? I love that. I wouldn't have done a title like that. So that is totally inspired by the mood board. How cool is that? So yeah, just getting all of those stuck down. Next, I'm going to add a few little details to my layout. So I'm now moving on to small embellishments. I've got my enamel dots there. I love enamel dots. I'm just dotting those around my leaves. You'll see on the picture of the mood board that all of those leaves have got dots and stripes and patterns all over them. So even though I didn't quite do that individually on all the leaves, I've used the dots around the flower itself. And I'm just getting all my little bits and pieces stuck down. I've used one of those Maggie Holmes Willow Lane tassels down the bottom there, so with some label stickers and some of the little chipboard pieces from the chipboard sheet, and some labels from one of the Pink Fresh Studio sticker sheets. Some puffy stickers I'm getting in there as well. So really utilising all of the different types of embellishments that came in the kits this month. I'm also using that really gorgeous Wisteria Lane Shimmers paint that came in the September colour kit. I wanted to use the pink as well, the cotton candy, but the cotton candy was a little bit bright. It didn't quite go perfectly, so I've just dulled that down by using mixing it with some of the Wisteria Lane, and then I'm using the Wisteria Lane Neat there. You can see just about see those two different colours there on my craft sheet, and I'm just really going for it. I wanted to pull through all the dots that were on the leaves in the picture, and that's as well as the enamel dots. That's another way that I've managed to bring those patterns in there onto my leaves. So just going through and adding a couple of butterflies from those gorgeous little Prima butterfly packs. And I wanted to make my flower look as though it was like coming off the edge of the page. So I've chopped off the leaves where they overlap there. I've just fiddling around with this top spray there. I wasn't happy. I wanted, you know, there I've got it all coming down, kind of cascading down to join the layout together. But I decided in the end I wanted it to be a separate little spray at the top there, so completely separate away from the photo and the clusters at the bottom there. So I made it more horizontal, and I was really happy with the way that turned out in the end. Finally, I wanted to add a small banner at the top there. There's a banner on the mood board. It's a gingham banner, so I didn't have any gingham in the kit, and that wouldn't have worked with my layout anyway. So I've just pulled out one of the Pink Fresh Studio papers, a bit on offcut from one that I've used previously, and I've just cut out some little rectangles there, and now I'm chopping them into banner shapes. And I've decided that I wanted to get the word love onto there. I cut 5 because, you know, I prefer either 3s of things or 5s of things. But in the end, so what I was going to do was use the word love and then put a heart at the end or at the beginning. But in the end, it just didn't quite look right with the letters. I'm just about to put the letters on there now. And it just didn't quite look right. It didn't look balanced because it needed a heart at either end, really. And then that would have made 6, which was an even number. So anyway, I decided to just go for the 4 of them instead of the 5, which goes against the grain. I'd prefer odd numbers. But I think it looks fine. So I'm glad I went with it like that. And I pulled off that little heart and I used it somewhere else at the top there as well. So there you go. I've used the leaves. The patterned leaves, I've used the title work, I've used the banner from the and an autumn theme as well. The picture is of the baby covered in leaves. So yeah, I really was inspired by the mood board. I think it's a completely awesome mood board. So thanks so much to Audrey for that. Anyway, that was Niki Rowland for Hip Kit Club. Thank you so much for joining me today for a mood board inspired layout.